Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the NXT review for the 19th of October 2010. And I mean, basically, um, this is the continuation of the women's edition. Uh, this time, it's basically pros getting dissed by their rookies, as both Maxine and Alicia Fox and Vicky Guerrero and Caitlyn, who have issues. Basically, Alicia Fox says she's tired of Caitlyn, or Alicia Fox says she's tired of dealing with Maxine. Maxine says she's tired of dealing with her, and everybody is kind of yelling. The saga, as it relates to Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn and their romance issues, are here. Also, we do get a match there where Caitlyn and Maxine and their respective pros are in a tag match, and the show runs shorter than normal, just clocking in under 35 minutes. Caitlyn learned a bit more about traditionalized wrestling with some takedowns. If this is true that she's only had a couple of matches, she's not as bad as one would think if she'd had several years worth. Maxine has issues coming out of the gate though, with some really basic, just underselling of moves and other such things. Not anything terribly worth worrying about, but at the same time, definitely worth kind of looking at and going, what are we doing here? A lot of the challenges as it relates to these women on NXT is most of them aren't ready for a worldwide stage, be it internet or non. Maxine does get a few snug shots in. Match itself is not the worst ever, but certainly, I mean, when you can't get a snapmare, and Maxine has difficulty with even that, and they don't end the match, they just continue letting them go. Michael Cole is distracted on the outside of the ring. He's on the phone, playing video games or doing whatever. And I mean, basically, the announcers putting it over as a joke. Why should the fans care about this? Also, CM Punk has been announcing a couple of weeks on this show. I don't know if this is one of them or not. I didn't write that down in my notes, but I mean, Punk does a lot of goofiness there too. Sidewalk slam that doesn't look too good from Caitlyn, as the post that's gotten. Actually, this is not one of the Punk episodes because he puts AJ over. Maybe they even had an involvement at that time. Needless to say, I think they were going for an atomic drop that turned into a mock spine buster here. Not a good look either, by any stretch of the imagination, as it were. And so, attempted roll up doesn't end well, and the continuation there is kind of just continued awkwardness, for lack of better terminology. Caitlyn almost loses her attempted roll up, and in fact, the match is probably one of the worst on WWE TV in the last 10, 15 years if you want to go out of your way to watch bad stuff. Speaking of bad stuff, we have women depicting the abs of and stomachs of certain talents as knowing whose abdominal structure they're looking at. Why someone would know this just by looking at someone with no face, I have no idea. It also objectifies people as physical objects, nothing more, nothing less. I don't know that that's good for business. They're hyping the bragging rights pay-per-view. I think they maybe did two of those. Maybe they did one or two. But again, pay-per-views for the sake of pay-per-views, which are so common in this era, they literally waste a whole bunch of time around this. Probably about 10 minutes out of the show. Goldust promising that he's going to be a good husband for Oksana, and Oksana has seemingly fallen in love with the $1 million belt. Also, she gets her engagement ring, and Goldust is nervous to give it to her. We then go, with about 5 minutes left in the program, to a Kelly segment, and it appears that, in fact, the continued fighting of people. The Bellas are here with their pro, and I mean, hey, it's kind of interesting. Kelly and Naomi are here. Bella's in here. Bella's pushed as a big deal at the time, trying to put the fact that Nikki has more of a killer instinct in on things, so maybe they're planning to do more with Nikki Bella at the time. Who knows? I, the fact that the Bellas are considered Hall of Famers now, I don't quite understand either. But anyway, um, I guess Hall of Fame really doesn't mean much. That's a big surprise. Double roll over, and kind of leg line whip there. Bellas are in control of the majority of the contest, as it were, and Naomi is watching on as Kelly kind of gets, I wouldn't say dominated by the Bellas completely, but she's not looking as an equal to them, although the Bellas having relationships with Daniel Bryan and things concurrently is there. We see a series of beatdowns, and Nikki actually pulling her sister off Naomi. After Naomi shows up, Brie Bella for a little bit. There's more chaos here. The match continues, and Bella's again still look to be in majority of control. Again, Nikki being the more aggressive one, and Brie kind of still holding to her babyface deal. There's a botched DDT. Kelly wants a tag on the outside, and Bella knocks her off the apron and then comes back with a lariat that doesn't look great, but it's here anyway. And then there's Twin Magic roll up, and ultimately a win for the Bellas after some cheating to be had. That will close us for this particular edition. We'll be back with more right after this.